Ever yelled at your TV during a cricket match, wondering why that's a no ball or how a batter got out without touching the ball? Cricket's packed with bizarre rules that baffle fans. Let's break down the top 50 weird ones. For number 1, it's ball hitting helmet on the ground. If the ball strikes a helmet belonging to the fielding side that has been placed on the ground, the batting team is awarded penalty runs. This is usually 5 runs. Helmets kept behind the keeper are the usual culprits, especially when the ball deflects after a wayward throw. Lesson: always put your helmet away or it turns into a slot machine. At number 2, it's ball hitting helmet worn by a fielder. This one confuses people. If the ball hits a helmet that a player is wearing, the ball remains in play. No penalty runs are given, so if it bounces off a helmeted fielder and is caught by someone else, the batter can actually be out. So your head's fair game, but the grass isn't. Go figure. For number 3, it's ball hitting spider cam or cables. Modern broadcasting brings new complications. If the ball hits the spider cam or its cables, the ball is declared dead. The delivery does not count and no runs can be scored. This has caused a few controversial interruptions in big games. Technology is the only fielder with a 100% success rate. At 4, what happens if the ball hits the roof of the stadium? This rule actually depends on the league or ground. In some competitions, hitting the roof is automatically a 6. In others, it's declared a dead ball and the delivery is re-bowled. The Big Bash League in Australia famously awards 6 runs if the roof is struck on the full. Cricket, the only sport where home renovations change the score. For number 5, it's timed out. This is the ultimate walk of shame. After a wicket falls, the next batter must be ready to face within 3 minutes in tests. In many formats now, that's changed to 2. 90 seconds in T20 internationals. Miss the deadline, and you're out without facing a ball. Angelo Matthews found this out the hard way in 2023 when a broken helmet strap led to the first ever timed out in international cricket. Forget bouncers, the real danger is the clock. At 6, what if the ball hits the stumps but bails stay where they are? If the ball clips the stumps but the bails don't dislodge, the batter is not out. It looks strange, especially when the lights flash on the zing bails, but the laws are clear. The bails must actually be removed from the grooves. Apparently even gravity takes tea breaks in cricket. At 7, what if the fielder overthrow hits the bat? In that famous final, a throw from the deep hit Ben Stokes' bat as he dived for his crease, then rolled away to the boundary. According to the rules, England received 2 runs completed plus 4 for the boundary, totaling 6 runs. Many felt it was unfair, but it was entirely within the laws at the time. Stokes will never buy himself a beer in New Zealand again. At 8 is the double hit rule. Once the batter plays a shot, they can't hit the ball again unless it's to stop the ball from rolling onto their stumps. A second intentional strike for any other reason results in a dismissal. It's rare, but it's designed to stop batters from effectively playing hockey on the pitch to control the ball twice. This isn't hockey, champ, 1 swing per customer. For number 9 is the fake fielding rule. Fielders are not allowed to pretend to have the ball or fake a throw to deceive the batters. If they do, the batting side is awarded 5 penalty runs. This rule was introduced to stop players from theatrically diving or faking pickups to make batters hesitate while running. Oscars are for Hollywood, not mid-on. At 10, it's ball handled. This used to be its own dismissal, and if a batter touched the ball with their hand not holding the bat, they could be given out. But in 2017, it got merged into obstructing the field. So now, if you casually swat the ball away with your palm, congratulations, you're obstructing the field. Hands off. This isn't volleyball, doy. At 11, the ball is hitting the umpire. If the ball strikes the umpire, the ball remains in play unless the umpire immediately calls it dead. So if it deflects off the umpire and the batters run, those runs count. It can create some truly awkward moments in the middle. Umpires, part referee, part brick wall. At 12 is the LBW rule. Ah yes, the king of confusion. Leg before wicket is that moment when the ball hits your pad, the bowler screams, the umpire raises a finger, and half the stadium has no idea why. For an LBW to count, the ball must pitch in line or outside off stump. The impact where it hits the batter must be in line with the stumps. And finally, it must be going on to hit the stumps. Even ball tracking tech can't stop the debates. Add umpire's call into the mix and boom, instant chaos. It's simple, unless you actually try to explain it. For number 13, what on earth is a front foot no ball? The line is sacred. If any part of the bowler's front foot lands beyond the popping crease, that's a no ball too. Even a millimeter over the crease line, and it's invalid. Tech catches it every time. Why weird? Bowlers train for years, yet one toe ruins it. Add a free hit in white ball games? Ouch! It's like stepping on a Lego. Small mistake, big pain. One toe over, and your career highlight just turned into a meme. At 14 is the free hit rule. This one makes fans cheer. After a front foot no ball in white ball cricket, the next delivery is a free hit. The batter can only be dismissed by runout, obstructing the field, or hitting the ball twice. For the bowler, this is basically good luck, mate. For the batter, it's time to swing like it's the last ball of the World Cup final. For batters, it's Christmas morning. For bowlers, it's tax day. At 15 is the back foot no ball. This is an old school rule. Nowadays, everyone focuses on the front foot, but technically, if the back foot lands outside the return crease, it's also a no ball. Like, you'll rarely see this called, but umpires keep a sneaky eye out for it, especially in tests. Blink and you'll miss it, unless you're the umpire. On to 16 now, and it's about bouncers. Here's where formats mess with bowlers' brains. In limited overs, a bouncer above the batter's shoulder is fine, but if it goes over the head, it's a wide. A waist-high full toss equals no ball. In tests, the shoulder is the limit for bouncers. Bowl one too high, and the umpire's arm goes sideways faster than a T20 slog. Short batter ducks a legal bouncer that sails over. Tall one gets pinged for the same ball. Fair? Debatable. Apparently size does matter after all. For number 17, don't hit your own wicket. Imagine this, you're playing a glorious pull shot, and as you swivel, your foot clips the stumps. Bails fly, you're out. That's hit wicket. It happens more often than you think, especially when batters lose balance or step back too far. Outsmarted by yourself. At 18 is Mankading. What the hell is that? Few rules divide fans like this one. If a non-striker leaves the crease early before the ball is released, the bowler is allowed to stop and break the stumps. It's completely legal, but often sparks debates about the spirit of the game. Originally made famous by Mankading in 1947, this rule has been clarified in recent years. The MCC moved it from the unfair play section to run out to end the stigma. Whether you love it or hate it, it's here to stay. Totally legal, but guaranteed to start a culture war. For 19, it's obstructing the field, one of the rarest and spiciest dismissals. If the batter deliberately interferes with a fielder by word or action, they can be given out. It's not about skill, it's about intent. Remember Ben Stokes in 2015? He instinctively put his hand out to block a throw and got given out. Brutal! In cricket, even accidental roadblocks are punishable. Number 20 is a juggler's act. For a catch to be legal, the fielder must not be touching the boundary rope or any object beyond it when making contact with the ball. If they step on the rope, even by a fraction, it's automatically ruled a 6. It doesn't matter how spectacular the catch looks. If your shoe is on the rope, it's gone. 1 inch on the rope and you're suddenly Santa Claus in disguise. For 21, it's the airborne catch rule. Here's where things get tricky. A fielder can leap into the air to take a catch near the boundary, but they must have jumped from inside the field of play. If they jump from outside, even if they catch the ball mid-air, it doesn't count. This rule gave us some unforgettable boundary relay catches in modern T20 cricket. It's less cricket, more circus. For 22, it's the 6 rule with the fielder stepping on the rope. If a fielder takes a catch but touches the rope at any point before completing the catch, it's ruled a 6. This applies even if they catch it first and then step on the rope afterward. Umpires use slow motion replays to check this frame by frame. The slow motion replay giveth and the slow motion replay taketh away. At 23, it's dead ball. A ball is considered dead when it's out of play. This can happen for many reasons: when the ball reaches the wicketkeeper and is clearly settled, when a boundary is scored, when a batter is dismissed, or if play is halted due to external interference. Once the ball is dead, no runs or dismissals can occur. Translation, everyone just stop and have a biscuit. For 24, what is the bouncer limit per over? The number of bouncers allowed per over varies by format. In tests, it's 2 per over. In one-day cricket, it's 2 per over since 2012. In T20 internationals, it's 1 per over. Any extra bouncers are called no balls. In limited overs, that also gives the batting side a free hit, making it a costly error for bowlers. 2's company, 3's a lawsuit. At 25, it's the wide ball. A wide isn't judged by the stumps alone. It's based on the batter's stance at the moment the ball passes them. And if the ball is beyond their reach on either side in a normal batting position, it's a wide. This explains why some deliveries that look close to the stumps are still called wide if the batter moves across. The stumps don't matter. It's all about where you stood 5 seconds ago. At 26, it's a wide ball when the batter moves. If the batter shifts position significantly after the bowler starts their run-up, and the ball passes outside where they originally stood, it's not a wide. This rule protects bowlers from constantly chasing batters who move around the crease to scoop or reverse hit. Batter dances, bowler cries. You moved. Dance if you want to. The bowler's tears are free. At 27, what on earth is a bye? It's not a goodbye wave. Byes happen when the ball goes past the batter without touching their bat or body, and the batters run. The runs are credited to the team, not the batter. It's essentially free runs caused by a missed collection from the wicketkeeper or an unexpected delivery. The only runs that truly belong to nobody. At 28, it's leg byes. Leg byes are scored when the ball hits the batter's body and they run. However, for leg byes to count, the batter must have attempted a legitimate shot or tried to evade the ball. If they just stand still and let it hit them, they don't get the runs. Congratulations, your thigh pad just made the scoreboard. For 29, what if a batter is out of his crease when the ball is live? Once the bowler starts their run-up, the ball is considered live. If a batter wanders out of their crease carelessly, they're fair game for a run-out at any time. This is why good fielders always keep an eye on wandering non-strikers. Wander at your own risk. It's not a Sunday stroll. At 30, it's the short run rule. If a batter doesn't ground their bat or body behind the crease while turning for a run, that run doesn't count. Umpires can signal short run if they notice it. It's not often seen, but it can make a crucial difference in close matches. Half a step short, a lifetime of regret. For 31, it's umpire's call. This is one of the most debated modern rules. When reviewing an LBW decision, the technology uses ball tracking to check if it is accurate and if the ball is hitting the stumps. If less than 50% of the ball is shown to be hitting, the original decision stands as umpire's call. The team doesn't lose their review, but the batter's fate depends on what the umpire initially gave. It's a deliberate compromise to preserve the authority of on-field umpires. The ball can hit the stumps, but the umpire's ego must survive. At 32, what if the bails get dislodged by wind? Sometimes strong wind can blow the bails off before a ball is delivered. In that case, the umpires can choose to continue without bails or replace them. If the bails fall due to wind during a delivery, it's not out. The dismissal only counts if the wicket is broken by the ball or fielder, when Mother Nature joins the playing 11. For 33, the fielding restrictions are interesting. In limited overs cricket, fielding restrictions change throughout the innings. In one day, cricket the first 10 overs allow only 2 fielders outside the 30-yard circle. Then it gradually increases. In T20 internationals, the power play lasts 6 overs with only 2 fielders allowed outside. These rules are designed to give batters an advantage early on and encourage attacking play. 6 overs of mayhem, sponsored by Bowlers Nightmares. At 34, it's the maximum 5 fielders on the leg side rule. No more than 5 fielders are allowed on the leg side at any time. This prevents teams from overloading one side of the field and bowling negative lines to choke runs, because otherwise, cricket would turn into human Tetris. At 35, only 2 behind square leg are allowed. Only 2 fielders are permitted behind the square on the leg side. This rule protects batters from excessive short-pitch bowling and ensures the game isn't dominated by negative tactics. Apparently 3 fielders back there is just rude. For 36, the concussion substitute rule. If a player suffers a genuine concussion during a match, teams are allowed to bring in a like-for-like substitute. The replacement player must have similar skills to the injured one, and the match referee has to approve the change. This rule was introduced after growing awareness around head injuries, and has already influenced key test matches. One of the few rules that actually makes sense. For 37, it used to be the old super sub rule. In the mid-2000s, one-day cricket briefly experimented with a super sub rule. Teams could name a 12th player who could replace anyone and fully participate. However, it heavily favored the team that won the toss, leading to uneven contests. The rule was quickly scrapped, but remains one of cricket's strangest experiments. The rule so bad, even cricket said never mind. At 38, the time limit law. Once a decision is given, players have only 15 seconds to decide whether to review. If they miss this window, they lose the chance, no matter how obvious the error. This keeps the game moving and stops endless huddles before every review. 15 seconds, long enough to panic, short enough to regret. For 39, it's about excessive appealing. Players can't appeal endlessly or aggressively pressure the umpire. Excessive appealing can lead to penalties or disciplinary action. The appeal is meant to be a request, not an argument. It's a small but important rule to maintain on-field respect. Remember, you're not auditioning for the voice. For number 40, the soft signal was confusing. For years, the on-field umpire gave a soft signal before sending a catch upstairs. The third umpire needed conclusive evidence to overturn it. The problem was that umpires often gave soft signals from hundreds. Last few now, and at 41, you can't underarm anymore. After the infamous 1981 incident where Australia bowled the final ball of a one-day match underarm to stop New Zealand from hitting a six, underarm deliveries were banned. Any such delivery now is declared illegal, and the batting side is awarded runs. Australia's gift to world cricket and world outrage. At 42, the innings declaration in tests is weirder than you think. In Test cricket, the captain has the power to close the innings at any time. This is often done to give their bowlers enough time to try and dismiss the opposition. It's a tactical move that adds a layer of chess-like strategy to the game, the only sport where you can stop scoring on purpose. South African skipper Hansie Cronje was famous for doing this against England once upon a time. At 43 is the follow-on rule in tests. We're not sheep here. If the team batting second is behind by 200 or more runs after the first innings in a 5-day match, the team bowling first can enforce them to bat again immediately. This rule is designed to give the dominant team a chance to push for victory without batting twice. Basically cricket's version of again but louder. At 44, it's bad light. Umpires can halt play if the light is deemed too poor for safe cricket. It often frustrates fans, especially when the floodlights are on, but the rule prioritizes player safety. Similarly, stumps is the official end of a day's play in longer formats. Nothing says drama like grown men complaining about the sunset. For Rule 45, it's the super over rules. When a limited overs match ends in a tie, a super over is used to break the deadlock. Each team gets 1 over to score as many runs as possible, with 3 batters and 1 bowler. If it's still tied after a super over in a knockout match, the process repeats until a winner emerges. This rule produced unforgettable drama in the 2019 World Cup final, because one World Cup final wasn't stressful enough. At 46, it's the boundary count rule. This was the infamous tiebreaker used in the 2019 World Cup final. When the super over ended in a tie, England were declared winners because they had scored more boundaries during the match. It caused global outrage and was eventually scrapped by the ICC. It remains one of the most controversial rules in modern cricket. A tiebreaker so bad it was fired immediately. At 47, you can't hit the ball twice. If the ball accidentally hits the bat twice while in play, it's fine. Only deliberate second hits are penalized. Twice by accident is fine. Twice on purpose, naughty, naughty. For 48, you can be happy, but not too happy. Players who celebrate too aggressively towards a batter can be penalized. This ensures cricket doesn't turn into a shouting contest. You can celebrate, just don't scare the children. At 49, the players can't distracting opponents. Any verbal or physical distraction of a batter can be penalized under unfair play laws. Yes, even trash talk has limits. There's sledging, then there's stand-up comedy. One is illegal unless you're the Aussies down under. And finally, at number 50, it's stumps or close. Outage is simply the close of play. It marks the day's end in longer formats or interruptions due to bad light, rain, or other factors. In cricket, even the end of the day gets a dramatic name. What do you think was the strangest rule? Was it the helmet or the boundary rope? You tell me the weirdest. If you loved this video, stick around for more interesting videos on our Cricket Crafter channel where legendary moments make this game both maddening and magical.